Welcome, and thank you so much for participating as a judge for the storytelling part of the Regents Cup competition. You know, Aristotle believed that an argument could not be won on logos alone, but that pathos was needed to appeal to the emotions and the motivations of the listener as well. Storytelling promotes our ideas by reaching into the hearts of our audience through that pathos, not just relying on reason. In fact, Walter Fisher, a 1980s rhetorical scholar, gave us the narrative paradigm. He says stories are not just examples, they can be the complete argument. And what must be necessary are three criteria to be met: fidelity, the apparent truth of the story; coherence, those are when the actions actually lead to the outcomes; and plausibility, that the story genuinely illustrates the claim being made. For this competition, students are given a specific topic and are asked to create a story that reflects that topic, and they have 10 minutes to present. In this training, we're going to cover the judging format. This includes the three basic elements that we're asking you to judge: story development, story organization, and story delivery. I'll also go over the scoring, but just a wee bit to show you some of the things you might want to pay attention to. First, let's talk about story development. The story should be truthful. They need to come from real experiences related to the theme. The content should relate to the event theme as well. And the speaker should consider the audience. I mean, it's Aristotle who says that the audience is first and foremost, most important. The context of the story, its characters, and its plot should be clearly identifiable. And the call to action should be reasonable. It should be something that we really are capable of imagining. When we come to the story organization, coherency, Fisher tells us, is paramount. Do all of the story elements come together? The beginning, the middle, and the end, and they are not necessarily having to show up in that order. Sometimes we preview what's to come. The story should have movement, tension, surprise, and resolution should be purposeful. And the details should be present. They should be relevant, keeping the story on point. The journey of the story should be enjoyable, even if it's difficult, and many of these stories may indeed be difficult. When it comes to delivery, storytellers should appear extemporaneous and avoid sounding memorized. We don't want them to memorize their stories, but they are practicing a lot. They will have physical and vocal variety. We're looking for that. The emotion should be clearly displayed and relevant to its place in the story. And seek vivid language. Vivid language should bring images to the mind's eye of the audience members. That's you. That evocative language. And the nonverbal communication should be used to reinforce the story, providing emphasis. We seek congruency between the nonverbal and the verbal language, and this should add fluidity to their story. I mentioned I was going to talk about scoring. Well, the points are distributed differently across the three criteria. Story development is worth 40 points and is rated on an 8-point scale. Story organization and story delivery are worth 30 points. They're both rated on a 6-point scale. So be careful when you are ranking or rating your storyteller. You are judges, but you are also audience members. You should feel affected by the story while still judging its fidelity, its coherence, and its plausibility. Thank you so much for offering your time and your support and your participation.